Every time she sits behind her desk, she will hear
Welcome to the Royal P Show. This is your host, Royal P. Thank you for tuning in this hour. I just want to tell you thank you. Before further ado, there wasn't part of the show, but uh, today was the diaspora conference. I believe in Washington D.C. and they had enough good things to say. So hopefully, some of you have already caught it. But if you didn't, catch a little piece of it, and then we're gonna go from where the president plans for Liberia future. And I would like to hear from you. You can put it down in the comment section and let me know what you think. What have you seen? Who on the ground that's in Liberia have seen a change since the president took power about 9 months or a year plus ago? He have a 6 year term, but I think he's been there for a year or two now. And what have he done so far? And has his plan, what he said, come to fruition? So just watch this for a minute, and then we're gonna start the show, and I'm gonna let you know what my research from, and if anything that I said was wrong, correct me. Put in the comment section, educate me, and so we all can learn and we all can see. Because I'm not back home, and you that back home, send me some information and let me know what is going down on ground, and we can get it from there.
from each of us. She'll be reminded about the enormous task that is before her and her team and the possibilities for the children of Liberia. Thank you. So we're now tasked with carrying on this conversation, and I have Dr. Kula, Dr. Tingba, and Dr. Williams, who will join me as they're coming forward. And some is going to help us to move the podium. I'll tell you a little bit. I'm going to limit my panelists. The moderator before me was very generous and told everybody that could talk for a minute. I'm going to limit my panelists to, for 2 minutes. I'm going to limit my panelists to 1 minute, telling us an introduction. They can tell you whatever they want. Then I'm going to pose a few questions to them, and then we're going to see if we have time left. We only have 30 minutes. So I have a background that in education. I worked for 31 years for the New York City Public Schools. In secondary school, while I taught at the City University of New York. I retired and continuing work in a nonprofit that I had started while I was still working for the New York City Public Schools. That work started me working with amputee children in Liberia and actually connected me with the then Vice President's office. Those children came to the United States, got their prosthetic limbs, went back to Liberia, and our nonprofit supported them and their families, providing social work help. And I'm pleased to say that one of those children actually graduated from Cuttington College this year and is on his way to medical school. What the possibilities are. But that work now has us doing more work in education, the healthcare spaces in Liberia, and brought me into the early childhood space in New York City. And because I found that the gaps that I saw in high school didn't start in high school. They started long before high school. And now I'm focusing on how do I help underserved families by providing for them a very firm and foundation in early childhood. So that's me. Dr. Kula. 1 minute.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Dr. Kula, Clarice Ford Kula. I am an education specialist, college professor. I have taught everything from kindergarten and up. I own a preschool in Atlanta, Georgia, Lawrenceville, Georgia. I own one in Liberia as well, which is a free ECE program that we run for children, and also an ALP program for children that don't have money. Some of the people in the room are friends of mine who helped to support that school. They made contributions to support those children. I have the privilege of being a consultant for the UN, so I do some work for UNICEF, and I help to work on some things at the World Bank. So I've been able to actually work with Dr. Jala's team at the Ministry of Education, and I have to say, amazing. If you think she was great up here, wait till you see her in action. She's wonderful, and it's been a great experience just being able to be in that space, going to schools, visiting schools in Liberia. I was crying when she showed the video because I've lived that. Just last week, I was in classrooms in Zwedru. I was in classrooms in Zozo. I was in classrooms in Webo, and we saw some of these same things. So what she just showed you is not a joke. This is happening to our young children every single day. And we are appealing to the diaspora, come home and help us. We need curriculum. We need a lot of things. So that's me in a nutshell.
Well, thank you. It's on. Thank you. My name is Dr. George Williams, and like other panelists here, I come from a very modest background, grew up in Grand Cess, came to Monrovia, learned English. On the old road, went to Amagashi Primary School, a proud product of Lakir Baptist Mission School, product of the university. Today, I am an educator here in the US. Like many Liberians, I came here to do grad work and go back home. I find myself still here after 15 long years. November 11 makes me 15 years, and I'm praying that by November 11, I have my ticket to go back home. One-way ticket.
All right.
Back home. I was home in May, and like the other speakers have said, the gaps so wide. The gaps are wide, but the opportunities are even more.
Yes.
There's so much opportunities out there, and I do not see myself staying in this country longer than December without going back home. When I die, I want to be known for having contributed.
That's right.
Not to my family,
Yes.
to Liberia.
Yes.
Because that's all we have. That's all we have. Every day I walk in the US classroom and I say to them, you have no idea what you have. And I prefer to be in a classroom with a child in Bokonjere, a child in Grand Cess, a child in Cape Mount somewhere who will appreciate seeing a teacher show up. Seeing a teacher show up. All right? And so I'll save some of my other comments for later. But it's great to be here. I'm humbled, Dr. Dunn, for inviting me to be a part of this panel. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Dr. J. Wasanantingba, and my friends who know me will call me the math lady. And the only reason I went into math was because of the stereotype that girls don't like math. So with that, I was challenged as early as high school to do math. And I'm glad that it has brought me this far. So currently, I'm working with a group of professionals in identifying a framework for STEM education here in the US with all the resources and human capital that they have. So we are still looking for ways to find means to encouraging underrepresented population in STEM education. So, I mean, as we go along, you see most of my response will be towards STEM education or special education, because that's where my passion is right now, even though I'm still the math lady.
Thank you, Dr. Tungba. So our topic is to focus on reimagining education for the next generation. Reimagining education. Thinking about where we are, but thinking beyond that to where all the possibilities for the next generation. So, Dr. Kula, if financial and human resources were not a limitation, what is the one most important area you would focus on if you were the person that we asked to lead the imaginations for the next generation?
For me, I would start in ECE, curriculum development.
You're speaking not
Yes.
to entirely educational crowd. So ECE meaning?
ECE, sorry, is educational jargon for early childhood education. So I would start in early childhood education looking at the curriculum and of course teachers training, because you cannot create a curriculum and you do not provide teachers training, which is one of the gaps we have in Liberia. So people come up and they bring all these wonderful books and curriculum and everything, but the teachers are not trained on how to use the books and materials. Most schools don't even have materials, but if you do, or you are privy to have a curriculum, right, which some schools have the curriculum there, but have not been taught on how to use it. Therefore, it's useless. So for me, I would start in early childhood education because that is the foundation of learning, and you build from the ground up. If your foundation is not strong, that house is going to fall, which is why when kids get into high school, colleges in Liberia, they still cannot read because the foundation had not yet been built. And even if it was built, it was not built strong enough. So I would start there.
You think she's excited about early childhood education? A tad bit, right? Dr. Timba.
So, like I said earlier, you're definitely going to get a lot of information on STEM. One thing I would do is to strengthen. Now, I'm using strengthen at EC. I would do because the Minister of Education has given us a brilliant information on what they are doing in Liberia. But so I would strengthen teachers training in STEM areas and continuous professional development. Continuous. So the two key words here, I'm a teacher too, please forgive me. The two key words here is what strengthen teachers training in STEM education, and then also continuous professional development, because we know, like my colleague said, we can have all the beautiful resources, infrastructure, but if we don't have the human capacity to implement or correctly implement those things, we wouldn't have a full effect of what we intend to do. Thank you.
Dr. Williams, you want to weigh in?
I want to weigh in and not necessarily differ with my two colleagues on the platform, but to say that as a nation, no nation thrives outside of a national vision, regardless of what programs you undertake. There has to be a national vision that programs are aligned to. And so I will go firstly for a national vision. What do we want to see? How do we want to see our educational system in 10 years, in 20 years, in 30 years? And then begin to build backwards. Do we want to focus on early childhood? What's that going to look like in 5 years, in 10 years? How are we going to assess? Now, as an ed administrator, one of the gaps that I've found where we're limited in so many ways, it's not just teacher training. I barely hear us talk about who supervises the teachers. The people who are principals, many of our principals. I had one. His only claim to fame was he did theology. A lot of our schools are church-driven. The pastor, the deacon become principal. But if the principal is not capacitated to monitor the teacher you're going to train, how are the kids measuring up? And so I'm one of those who believe, first and foremost, we need a national vision for education. Our educational system, since the 70s, have been destroyed like every other sector in the country. But we need to define and develop an education sector vision, not the programs that we put on paper, but something that's practical, something that takes into consideration where the country is at this current time, and help us move forward. It has to be rigorous, it has to be practical, and it has to be visionary. We have to be deliberate about it. All the other things, the teacher training and what LU will look like in 5 years, that can come later. But until we have a vision, a clear vision on where we want to go, so that all of us here can be a part of that process, because we want to be co-creators as well. We have ideas. All of us have ideas, separate ideas, but it has to align with a clearly articulated national vision. And that is where I think we're going wrong.
Well, it seems to me that from the minister and even from the president's message this morning, that we see a new brand of leadership that is shaping some vision, and that's why we're here, right? That's why they're starting to engage expertise and talent that may not necessarily reside in Liberia. And this conversation and conversations like these going forward will certainly be, I guess, very helpful in Liberia shaping that vision. If I were to add my own self to some of what you all have just said, as we reimagine education for the next generation, as an educator and as someone who went to school in Liberia, I have to say I was a high-performing student, but that's neither here nor there. I watched over time a system that was built not to recognize diverse learners. And so many of my friends, how many people went to school in Liberia? All of us? Okay. You fail one? No. You fail one, you go to summer school. You fail two, you fail. So there's some people who I started elementary school with. If they were not good in math and science, they fail too. They fail. They fail too. Doesn't matter if there were 90 students in English and social studies. So while I would place a lot of emphasis on early childhood education, I would like to see in the future that we restructure an education system that recognizes diverse learners, that provides scaffolds for learning for students who are not the best in math and science. And guess what? Sometimes kids who are very good in math and science are not good in the language arts. So there's no reason that we should build a system that caters to one kind of learner so that children have to learn, every child has to learn the same thing every year the same way. I'm moving on. So who are the stakeholders that we must include in this discussion if in fact we will let our imaginations go wild for the next generation? Dr. Timba.
I would say all of us, everybody. And then that includes governance and policy makers. That includes parents and students, especially students, because we are moving away from time where we only sit up there and we make the policy. We have to come down, get the students' viewpoint, get the student input, because this affects them directly. Get teachers, institutions, and especially this program we are at, diaspora, the Liberians in the diaspora, we play a major role. And then we're going to be a major stakeholder in this process. Get institutions like NGOs, we already have a lot of them already, but encourage them to increase their participation. So that's why I say all of us, and especially parents. I don't know whether we noticed that most of them, and that is just from my experience when I went back home to do my dissertation, most parents are only concerned with paying the school fees. And then that's it. And then they sit till the report card comes home. But then if we want to start all over and start right, we have to start encouraging everybody participation. Thank you.
Dr. Kula?
Okay, so I agree with what she said. It takes everybody. You know, we say it takes a village to raise a child, and that it does. One of the everybody's that's included in this, of course, would be the Ministry of Education. It would be your DEOs and your CEOs who are assigned to the schools, because you can create policies, you can create a lot of things, but if those people are not enforcing those things in the school, it's a waste of time. So one of the biggest things that I've seen, and working with the UN, we've been trying to implement a policy of inclusion, like an inclusion policy, because we have children who are in the classrooms. There's no differentiated instruction for them. So if I'm not doing well in language arts or math, then it's like I'm in the low group, right? And then you go to the next one, you might get put in another low group. Just because I'm bad in math does not mean I'm bad in language arts. So you need to look at me as an individual child, as an individual student, and differentiate that instruction. My sister and my brother are not the same. I have twins, a boy and a girl. They both make straight A's. With my son A, sometimes a little higher than my daughter's A. It's not a big deal. But they get to college now, she's making more higher A's than he's making. So you see what I'm saying? You can have children raised in the same home. They're never going to be the same. They can be in the same classes together. They will never be the same. So think about having a classroom full of students that come from every walk of life, all different families. They're all in one classroom. How can you subscribe to one method of teaching? And most teachers teach the way that they learn or the way that they've been taught. They write all these notes on the board, okay? Because they learn by notes. I have to hear it. I'm an auditory learner. I have to see it, but I don't want to just watch notes, which is why when Dr. Jala showed the video, you saw the kids wrote all those beautiful things, had beautiful penmanship, but could not read a lick. And that is because we're subscribing to that one size fit all. If I put these notes on the board, all the kids copy them, all the kids can read them, all the kids. It is not. Children are individuals, and we need to treat them as such. We need a school system that's going to help them get to where they need to be as individuals. Yes.
Dr. Williams, you got exactly 45 seconds to weigh in here.
45 seconds. Can we include in the community of stakeholders the business community as well?
Absolutely.
Yes.
The business community is critical because at the end of the day, they're the ones who receive the products from the system. And they can help to inform the system of the quality they want or need. And the system can then adjust to ensuring and equipping those people, students, to be able to serve the business community. So the business community is critical. The business community has the resources to reinvest in the process. And so a partnership with the business community as well, in addition to all the other stakeholders my colleagues have mentioned.
Yep.
Well, thank you, panelists. I hope we'll agree that the next generation deserves a system that is not just patchwork, but a system that is designed for them in view of the current. And Liberia can do this. Liberia must do this.
That's right.
And I believe under the leadership of Joseph Nyuma Boakai Sr., Liberia will do this. I thank you.
All right. So we will have breakout sessions like he explained, right? Okay. And we'll answer questions there.
You want all of your microphones?
Yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. May we give our panelists a big round of applause. That was a very fiery discussion. I mean, truth-telling. They said there was a great Liberian leader who said, if your dreams do not scare you, they are not big enough, right? We got to dream big because we are coming from way behind. Yeah, too much talk, less action. It's taking us nowhere. So I love the honesty and the energy in this room. Let's see it to the end. Let's commit ourselves to seeing it to the end. Our next presenter will give us an idea on the demography of the diaspora. Thank you so much for the time we've spent. I have the honor to welcome to the podium Liberia's chief executive, that's diplomatic executive, accredited to the United States of America with concurrent responsibilities to Mexico and Canada, His Excellency, Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary, the Dr. Al Hassan Conte.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I just wanted to put aside the diplomatic cap and wear the scholarly cap for a minute because of the problems that I'm confronted with. One of the problems. So we have a presentation. It will come up in a minute. Okay, there you go. So this, no, the first page, go back one slide. Yeah, so the title is Demographics of the Liberian Population in the United States. Demography, as you know, is the consequences. When things happen, people run away, people die, and so on. Unfortunately, the censuses that we have conducted back home do not capture the population abroad. The reason for that is that the international system of comparability designed by the UN is focused only in country. And so, next slide, please. Next. And so the purpose of this presentation, as I said, as ambassadors, one of the problems we are confronted with is the diaspora, or the diaspora community. Fortunately, the system I met in place at the embassy, many of my predecessors had done a very good job in capturing and creating a program for the diaspora community. So I'm trying to build on that by designing a system that can be used not only in the United States, because as it was said this morning, the diaspora community includes those in Asia, the European Union, and so on. But this presentation is for the United States only. And as we spent a lot of time looking over the data as provided by the US Census Bureau. The US Census Bureau has the American Community Surveys that drills down on foreign-born population in the United States. So for the purpose of this presentation, the diaspora is defined as first and second generation Liberians in the United States, including the foreign-born, as provided. The data is a little bit old, but that's what is available, 2022. As you know, the census is done every 10 years. And so we're able to build up some profiles. First, by looking at the age distribution, age and sex distribution of the population, the education, marital status, occupation. And here what we did was, since the data itself is based on, it's very technical, but it did a lot of statistical estimates. And because the population is small, the margin of error is very high. And so, but for where you have, as you will see shortly, the largest concentration of Liberian population in Minnesota, we have a comprehensive survey. So we looked at the Minnesota data and built what we call the best likely uniform profile, or best uniform
conference, member of the FOBA stage, ladies and gentlemen, thank you, our special guest speaker, for honoring this occasion and for your welcome you all. Thank you. It is long awaited conference is finally here. I want to thank you. Fellow Liberians, ladies and gentlemen, what an honor and delight to stand before you today at this historic gathering of Liberians in the diaspora. This conference has been in making for a long time. I first introduced the idea during several of my speaking engagements with the diverse members of the diaspora community across the United States months before the elections and again in the weeks leading up to my inauguration. I believe that formalizing this partnership is essential to the renewal and rebuilding of our country. This summit is therefore a dedicated platform for engagement, policy dialogue, and partnership. You will not be treated as observers, but as full stakeholders in Liberia's future. We often forget that the neglect of any aspect, anybody in a society can become an Achilles heel. My fellow Liberians, we have indeed come a long way. And if we are honest with ourselves, we inherited a country that was facing far more problems than we could resolve overnight. Institutions were operating below their optimal levels. The economy was faltering, secured and broken down significantly, and the overall mood and the challenges we face as a country can be overcome when we are intentional in our resolve to reverse the past. By doing so, lyrics in the glorious land of liberty shall long be ours, will be real. Ladies and gentlemen, while we recognize these historic shortcomings, we must also take responsibility for shaping our future. Liberia can be rebranded. With strong leadership and a people-focused vision, we can create a country that embraces what we aspire to be as a nation. As we are beginning to see changes, Liberia was overwhelmingly elected to the Security Council. Our independence celebration this year, I understand, went global, thanks to the Liberians in the diaspora. These are just a few of refreshing memories of renewal for our country this year. We have to restore our waning glory in the global community. At home, our government is taking steps to address the complex social and economic conditions we inherited. Through the Arrest Agenda for Inclusive Development, we are focused on 6 critical pillars that will promote development, beginning with agriculture, roads, rule of law, education, sanitation, tourism, and technology. This agenda is a response not only to the current challenges, but also aligns with the National Vision 2030 to transform Liberia into a lower middle income country and build a capable, inclusive state. What we are committed to is improving livelihoods and ensuring that every Liberian, both at home and abroad, can share in the growth and programs that the reform agenda and the national development plan will bring. Already, we have seen substantial progress in several areas, including healthcare, education, road, infrastructure, development of agriculture, sanitation. Progress has also been made in governance, the rule of law, anti-corruption efforts. Despite these efforts, we acknowledge that challenges remain and that more should be done, and quickly too. I would like to highlight three key areas of this national transformation: governance reform, economic transformation, social inclusion, reconciliation. With these key, they in themselves are not exhaustive. Our most extraordinary effort must be to overcome, and as I usually say, not to come over to greener pastures. The crisis Liberia faces today are deeply rooted in governance. It does not take much for an observer of Liberian society to see that many of our country's problems are fundamentally linked to governance. Governance should no longer be a privilege for a select few, but a responsibility for everyone. The days of benevolent leadership are gone. A small number of people unjustly and personally use the institutions of state to amass and control the wealth at the expense of the majority in the society. We must continue to embark on reforms that give voice and power to citizens in our communities and all over Liberia. And we must move beyond Monrovia-focused decision-making and embrace decentralized participatory governments. This is why my administration is committed to fast-tracking constitutional reforms.
So there you have it. That's your president, President Nyuma Boakai of the Republic of Liberia. And if you want to watch the whole thing, go ahead and watch the whole show. So as time permit, I'm going to go ahead and start. He gonna play it back again later on, before the show ends, telling you what his plans are for the country. For the countries of Liberia. A beautiful country. What it says, liberty brought us here. So I'm your host, Royal P from the Royal P Show. Thank you once again for joining me, and I hope you can learn something from here and all the diaspora people. In the various country, in the various states, in the United States, across the United States, Canada, Mexico, China, whatever you are, as a Liberian, as a diaspora, we call it on you to go back and help build that country. It's not going to build itself. The government can't do everything by itself. They can just do enough. But we all need to put our input, put our print, not go back and try to join the government and try to pocket the money, try to make our pocket fat, try to just walk around with big shoulders then we're in the government doing something, because it's not permanent. You will be getting out and you might be getting arrested and be charged, right? So we all need to go back and do our thing. We don't have to join the government to do everything. So that's why I'm myself, is starting a foundation. My kid's name, Jazz Trade Empire, as well, Jazz Trade Empire Foundation, to help these young ones, our future for Liberia. And that's why I'm pleading with each and every one of you. If you can, whatever you have to donate, it will be appreciated. On the Cash App, that's DJ Royal P, or the GoFundMe page on my Facebook and everywhere else. So thank you. For further ado, you know how I always start. We're gonna start with a little prayer, a little verse first, and then we're gonna start a prayer. So the verse of the day is coming from the book of Jeremiah 29:11. Says, "For I know the plan I have for you, declared the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plan to give you hope and the future." So we all should be, we all should be able to, not to harm the people of Liberia, not to harm the country, not to harm the economy. No, we needs to help the future because we are from Liberia. We are Liberian. We are Africans, right? So when we come different places, yes, we love where we live and we appreciate where we live. But you have to, give back. I've heard a lot of different Liberian people. I would never go back to Liberia. My mom always tell me to. She just look at these people like, I would never go back, never go back. You don't have to go back. And I seen most of the same people that put that lips and says stuff like that. It's the same one I would spread lies on the internet about Liberia. I would try to go back and say, oh, wow, things changing. No. Don't let somebody change it before you do it. You have to go back and do the change. Like my boss always said, you got to be the change you want to see. So you got to be the change you want to see in Liberia. You got to be the change you want to see in this world. You got to be the change you want to see in your family. You got to be the change you want to see in your relationship. You got to be that change before you can ask somebody, to change. If we cannot be the change, why am I asking you to change? You have to be that change you want to see. Right? So, dear Heavenly Father, as I gather here today to discuss the future of Liberia and that vision plan outlined by the President of Liberia for our nation development, I humble myself and seek your guidance and wisdom. May our discussion be insightful and inspiring. Hope for a brighter future for Liberia, a nation in rich resources and resilience in spirit. Grounds the ability to collaborate effectively, embrace the value of unity and equality as we strive to build a prosperous Liberia for all its citizens. In Christ Jesus, Lord and Savior, I pray. Amen. So, as you know, this is your boy Royal P from the Royal P Show, where I firmly believe that health is a new goal. Water is life, and God is above all. I emphasize on the importance of mental, physical, and spiritual well-being. Today, join me as I dive into the President of Liberia plan's future and try to make sense of it all. So stick with me as I try to make sense of this. So the President Joseph Nyuma Boakai, I hope I'm pronouncing his name right, who was inaugurated as the 25th President of Liberia, was embarked on his leadership journey with a clear vision for transformation, change in the nation. His aspiration for Liberia's future emphasized the creation of a stable, prosperous, and equal society, addressing the needs for all citizens, understanding the multitude needs of all citizens, challenges that the country faces, such as economics, instability, infrastructure, social equality. The president committed to implementing policies that promote stable development and social justice. He aimed to enhance the education opportunity, improve healthcare access, and foster economic growth through investing in local industries, investing in the Jaspers, investing in you out here. He is a Liberian, and he's doing everything in his God-given power and by the guidance of God. I believe it's the guidance of God to do what it takes. But that's why he needs the right people around him. Because if he don't have the right people and he's not ready to take that tough decision to let some of these people go, it will not help. So I pray he take the tough decision, and I have seen few places that he have taken this tough decision to let people go. The corruption, I think was the last one was the president of the school for Bon County or somewhere that I guess allegedly had a rip charge or a rip accusation against him. So we all have to go and invest in that country, do our part. Not stay on TikTok all day, stay online all day, say crap about the country, but we're not doing anything about it. We go on Spoon, that network, and say all type of stuff. I watch it and say, oh, and most of these people that saying these things are not doing nothing. They are pocketing that money. They are doing it for their family and sitting back and watching. Get in your community. Do the little things. Do the needful. The kids is running around with no shoes and clothes on their foot. Do what you can do. Go around. Try to invest in them in that future. Let's do our part. He like to improve healthcare access and foster economic growth through investing in local industries. With this initiative, President Boakai seeks to guide Liberia towards a more promising and united future for all citizens, visitors, and guests. Liberia faces significant challenges that we have that hinder its progress. Economic instability, characterized by high inflation, and the struggling agriculture sector affect the livelihood of many Liberians. The country infrastructure, including roads, electricity, and water supply, is in their needs of improvement. Social issues such as poverty, unemployment, and limited access to quality education and health care also take a hit. These challenges have created a complex environment that the president aimed to address through his policies. The president proposed strictly policy maliciously crafted to address the malfunction challenges Liberia face today. He plans to implement comprehensive economic reform aiming to stabilize suitable growth, creating job opportunity for the youth and everybody else, and enhancing government revenue. These reforms will include initiatives such as tax incentive for small and middle-sized enterprise, and investment in infrastructure projects, particularly in transportation and energy. His education initiative focus on improving access to quality in education, not just education, but a quality education. As you heard earlier about when the people were speaking on the panel, you heard how yes, these parents have to be involved in a kid's life. It's sometimes it's hard because they will all they want to do is make sure that kids is going to school and put in the environment. But education start at home, not in the school system. Your education start at home. You have to teach your kids at home. You have to be with them at home. You have to focus. They have to come home and do the necessary work as you have to guide them to it, not just pay the tuition. Yes, most parents just worry about paying it because that's all they have. And they didn't go to school, so they want to make sure that kids went to school. So they will pay. And after that, they just hope and pray that our kids is looking at their suffering, looking at them sell cold water on the street, looking at them walk for miles and miles. Listen, these Liberian ladies in Liberia, girls and women, walk miles and miles with stuff on their head just to make sure they earn a honest living, to put their kids in school. You have to put their kids in school to pay that rent, or they have their own house to just to earn the necessary things. Sometimes they don't even sell. They have to walk miles just to sell because it just sit one place. It's not much people coming to buy, so they have to walk miles and miles. I saw how people walk the last time I was there. After 25 years, me going back and seeing that was touching. A lot of times we have it so good over here, and when you see people looking up flashy, excuse me, and when you really look at how they earn that money, you'll be like, wow, it is very touching. But we need to train these teachers as well. That's teaching these kids. Train the principal that's supervising these teachers. and invest in the school and give the school the necessary resources, pay these teachers on time as well, and put them through a well-formed training. Not just I have this, so I'm equipped to teach. No, because you want a school to be an educator doesn't mean you are equipped or you qualified to teach. You have to have that compassion for the kids. You have to have that compassion for education. You have to have that vision beyond just earning or making a living. When I got in my profession, it was never about just making a living. Yes, making a living is part of it, but it's beyond that, because my profession doesn't really make you rich, right? So if you want to be rich for whatever profession is, you just want to make a living, you have to know beyond that. So education is the key, and everybody need to be educated. The teachers that teaching the kids need to be educated to really focus. They need to be having no good resources. That parents needs to be, you know, involved in the schooling business as well, not just the school want to take just want to take the money. The kids have to be there. The parents, everybody needs to be involved, and you have to teach your kids at home before they go to school. It all start at home. So, in key plans to recruit and train more teachers, invest in schools and infrastructure, and provide scholarship and funding for education material. The president aims to implement technology in classroom to modernize the learning experience and bring an education gap between urban and ours. Because we have this old ways, but we needs to improve. We needs to be better. Now a lot of our teachers are being lazy. A lot of our students are being lazy. And when somebody graduates in Liberia, it's a party. It's more party in Liberia when somebody graduate than over here. They charter cars. They're moving down the road. They got stuff. I mean, listen, it was crazy. It's a party, so we need to take pride in that. When someone graduates, we take pride in that. We celebrate with them, making sure that yes, we got you. You did it. After all this time, walking all these long miles, your shoes, heels, and everything done. So he seeks to enhance the healthcare system, significantly increasing funding, improving excellent healthcare infrastructure, and expanding access to accessible healthcare service. This includes plans to build new clinic, hospital in undesired area, implement community health program, and increasing the availability of important medication by prioritizing the prevention, cares, and health education. Those policies aim to create healthy population and reduce the burden on the healthcare system. Yes, we need good doctors. We need good, nurses that really cares about these individuals that is seeing each and every day. And we need to implement some system that I can see you and you pay me. Now, oh, if you don't pay me to do this, you got to pay me this. It's not everybody have that money, and a lot of people die because somebody don't have the money to go to the hospital. Oh, yeah, they're gonna look at you a little bit, but you don't have the necessary money. Oh, we can see you. You can get your medication. It shouldn't be like that. The human life comes first, and then you come for the payment later. Take a collateral damage or something, but health come first. That's why I always believe that health is wealth. Where there is health, there's always opportunity. Where there's life, there's always opportunity to make it to this life. And we're just passing through anyway. By adopting these targets and strategic policy, the president aspired to lead Liberia towards a stable development pathway, fostering economic resilience, education, advancement, and improved public health for all its citizens. A key prospect in the present plan is focused on transforming Liberia agriculture sector by investing in modern farming technology, improving initiative system, providing support to smallholder farmers. He believed Liberia can achieve food security and become we love food. We know we Liberian, we love food. I love to eat. That's why I had to learn how to cook. I can throw down the kitchen now. So I mean, I don't need no woman to cook for me, but I do need a woman. You feel what I'm saying? Because I love food, and we love our rice. It's international food, pretty much, but we love our rice. You see what I'm saying? So invest in agriculture and making sure that we don't go hungry, making sure that our bag of rice don't cost 17, $18, that it's affordable. The common food is affordable. Significant impact in Liberia economy and improve the livelihood for many Liberians. Effective implication will require collaboration for international partner, civil society, and the private sector. If successful, this project could serve as a model for the countries in the region. It will also help address some of the social issues that our country face and has been affecting Liberia. So let's recap. The main point, the president plans to focus on addressing Liberia economic instability, infrastructure deficit, deficient. I mean, look at the tallest building in Liberia, bro. We can do better. Once a country of big enough hope, 180, 70 years old country, one of the oldest republic in the continent of Africa. With civil war and everything else, we are way behind. And we can do better. And it's not going to just take one person or one administration. So I'm calling all the diaspora as well. Go back, do the needful, help, build infrastructure, build, you know what I'm saying, just businesses, hospitals, clinic, invest, come together, especially security. You know what I'm saying? So we can do this. We can do this. Together, we can do this. Individually, it's going to take a long, long way. And as we're seeing it now, it's taking too long. When we come together as a people, not just a Liberian, but a people, an international community, people that leave to make a better life, to see them and make sure that everything is working. His strategy and policy include economic reform, education initiative, and healthcare, and provide to aim Liberia towards a brighter future. Public support for those initiatives is crucial to their success. If Liberia comes together to support the president's plan, the country could experience a significant transformation. And I believe that's what this conference is about. So tell me, I would like to know, what's your thoughts on President Boakai plans for Liberia future? So share your thoughts with me in the comment section and let me know so I can learn, educate me, and show me some things that he have done so far. I you should watch my man JMB's son. If you ever see this right here, I love you, man. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep inspiring the Liberian people. Keep helping. Make sure that nobody is spreading the lies and deceive things, so that everybody can come back and help and do the best thing they can do. All right. So I would like to know it. So don't forget to like and share the channel. Subscribe to the channel as well, and don't miss anything else. Hit that bell so wherever I come on and wherever I post, you can see it and you can, and we can teach each other. Everything here is about teaching each other. It's about learning. So thank you again for watching. I'm your host, Royal P from the Royal P Show. To end this, the Bible verse to end this will be coming from the book of Proverbs 16:3. Commit your work to the Lord, and your plans will be established. So we are committing our work to the Lord, the work in Liberia to the Lord, and everything will come in place. No matter who try to mess it up, when God hands is on it, you can't stop the power of God. When a man say yes, I don't care what you do, it won't work. Because when he said yes, yes means yes. And when he said no, no means no. And he has said yes to the nation of Liberia to rise again, to prosper, to be better, to be the beacon of hope once again of the continent of Africa. No matter how it is right now, we will rise again and we'll be better. And we will be a beacon of hope once more in the continent of Africa. So my prayers to end this. Heavenly Father, I express our heartfelt gratitude for the opportunity to grind together today, for inspiring the vision of the President of Liberia, the future that has been shared among us. I humbly ask for your divine blessing on the specific plans and initiatives discussed, which aim to foster economic growth, improve education, and enhance health care for our citizens. May we come together in united and shared purpose, dedicated and working towards the uplifting and well-being of all people in our beloved country and around country. We seek your guidance for our leaders, that they may be empowered, enduring for the wisdom and courage as they navigate the challenges the country face. And thank you for the opportunity that lies ahead. Let the word of my mouth and the meditation of our heart be accepted in thy sight. In Christ Jesus, I pray. So there you have it. So I have made some stuff. I couldn't say all. But thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Until next time, I'm your host, Royal P. And just listen to a little bit of what the president had to say again while I get out of here.
Including decentralization, local government empowerment, and improved service delivery. Good government requires accountability, transparency, and respect for the rule of law. It must lead to a strong, capable state that serves all people without discrimination or favoritism. In this fight, the key government initiated the Performance Management and Compliance System. Undertakes governments Liberia is committed to fostering the culture of accountability, transparency, and performance excellence in public service. When over a third of the population living in poverty, a long history of rural neglect, despite abundant resources, it called for a significant rethinking of how we do business and organize our society. Our economy must be inclusive and work for everyone. Liberia remains predominantly agricultural society with vast natural resources. Yet our development model has historically prioritized commodity extraction over inclusive growth. We need to reconsider the concession regimes and focus on adding value, promoting local ownership, and investing in agriculture, where the majority of our people, especially women and youth, are actively engaged. We must replace growth with development, with growth that delivers development. The irony is that while the commodity extraction has supported the economy over the years and contributed to increased growth, such growth has been unequal because we have not invested the profits in development to benefit the majority of the people. By reinvesting resources and the revenue into infrastructure, health, education, and job creation, we can reduce poverty and build a more equitable society. Inequality in Liberia is not just economic, it is social, historical, and structural. From settler indigenous division to ethnic favoritism. And
So there you have it, people. You can go back and see the whole video later on about the president's speech and what he's talk about, and you can know, and you're gonna hear more about what he's saying. All right. So no further ado, like I said, I'm your host, Royal P. Please share the channel. Please subscribe to the channel. You can donate to the channel to help the kids of Liberia, to help them be better, to help them with the necessary needs they need. So my Cash App is on the screen. And you can go on my Facebook page and everywhere else. You'll see the GoFundMe page. The call for help on our future. Because the kids are our future. So if you're watching on Facebook, all I ask to like, share, and join the community. Send me a star, and each star you send will go to these kids. And you definitely will have receipt for everything that's bought for these kids, and everything that's done for these kids will be shown right here to know that whatever you donate, I don't need it. These kids need it. I need it for them, but not my personal needs. So thank you once again. This is my time. God bless you. And I pray you have learned something. And I pray God help you. And you can come back to God and we all can be in one assembly together. Thank you once again. Have a great day. God bless.